Thanks everyone for having me here. Before I dive into this, I want a quick show of hands. I'm just curious, see how I can validate some of my statistics that I'll be sharing with you. How many of you use email pretty much on a daily basis with your business? Yeah. How many of you are subscribed to some sort of email marketing other than your own business, of course? And how many of you would regularly read emails on your mobile device? Yeah, okay. So that pretty much is in tune with what I'm going to share with you. No bio needed. Dave has shared with you my role with FedEx. At FedEx we send a lot of email, and that's largely B2B. We're largely B2B company. But the concepts that I'll share with you today run across the gamut. It doesn't really matter what your business model is, whether you're manufacturing or services, or whether you're B2B, B2C, or what have you. It's all applicable. With a focus on using email marketing to grow your business. So, why email marketing? Why should I care? Why is email marketing so valuable to me as a small growing business? Well, a couple of key points. One, it's highly preferred by your customers and your prospects and whoever you're going to be doing business with. So you just said it yourself. Everyone uses email. It's a no-brainer. It's ubiquitous. It's easy to use. And your customers, consumers in general, prefer it as a communication channel. Also prefer it as a marketing channel. They prefer it over things like direct mail and telephone and text and even social. Although social is up and coming in the charts, email is still right up there at the top as a preferred direct marketing channel. Also, it's very, very usable. A lot of utility. You can do it. You can use email not just for marketing, but really all sorts of different communication methods. We do that at FedEx. We use it, of course, for email marketing, permission-based promotional marketing of our products and services and solutions. But also use email, obviously, for what we call transactional messaging, such as shipment notifications. You've probably gotten a few of those if you ship with FedEx. Or things like account updates or billing updates or just really any kind of correspondence that you may have with a company. Email is a great fit for that. So it just really makes sense. And it can be used, as I said, for pretty much any kind of business, whether you are, B2C, B2B, small, medium, large. It doesn't really matter. It's great for everything. And probably my favorite reason that email marketing is awesome is that it's very cost effective, which is probably good for a small fledgling business. Not to say that you're fledgling, but I'm sure that you're very cost conscious in these days and times. Compared to some of the more expensive options, such as direct mail, it's extremely cost effective. It'll cost you anywhere from $1 to $5 to send 1,000 emails. The comparison to direct mail is just not even close, right? The comparison to search engine marketing is also not even close. Search engine marketing is also going to be more expensive than that. Social marketing is probably, depending on how much agency costs you're incurring, that's probably that could be more expensive as well. But it is cost effective and it works. As long as you pay attention to this one key concept, permission-based marketing. And the steps that I'm going to be going through with you today on how to grow your business with email marketing is really premised on this key concept that we're not talking about spam, we're not talking about buying email lists. We're talking about building your own in-house organic permission-based email list. I truly believe that permission-based email lists can be one of your most valuable business assets. And if you treat it that way, you'll reap benefits, you'll extract value from it, and you can grow it. And it will be long-lasting. It can even be a source of competitive advantage. But that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about sending email only to those who have asked for it, those who have subscribed to your email communications. And of course, you may be aware that there are actually laws protecting this concept. Permission Marketing by Seth Godin, one of my favorite marketing books. Highly recommend you take a look at it if you haven't. He lays it all out in that book. It's very, very good read. But he says that permission marketing is anticipated, it's personal, and it's relevant. Relevance is extremely important in email marketing. It's got to be something that the customer wants, they find useful, it's at the right time to help them do whatever they need to do, make decisions or help them buy a product or help them do business with you, whatever the case may be. And strike email blast from your vocabulary. We don't use the word blast. So really the ultimate goal here is one-to-one marketing. You probably heard of that concept. I mean, that with that's kind of what the intelligence-driven targeted marketing boils down to, is being able to market to an audience of one, but times many, many hundreds of thousands, right? But being able to deliver the right message, very relevant, highly valuable message to the right target or audience or whatever you want to call them at the right time in the right channel. And in this case, the channel is email. So I want to run through some steps on how to grow your business with email marketing. Step 1, develop your goals, your marketing goals, and map those to your customer life cycle. Choose the right email marketing solution. It's important. Build your permission-based email list, as I mentioned. Design email programs, campaigns to acquire and nurture those relationships with your customers and your prospects. And then use analytics to learn and improve. It's all about continuous improvement, monitoring along the way. So developing goals and map to customer lifecycle. Now I'm going to assume that if you've gotten to the point at which you have decided to dive into email marketing, you probably have some marketing goals set up. So it's really just a matter of just looking at your goals and your objectives and just mapping email marketing to that, and mapping email marketing to whatever your customer life cycle is. What I mean by that is, different business models have different customer life cycles. Some life cycles may be very short and simple. Some may be very long and extractive. Maybe a lot of different decision paths that customers might have to go through to do business with you. It doesn't really matter with email marketing. It's applicable to all of them. You just want to make sure that you're mapping your strategy to your customer life cycle. This is just a generic life cycle from initiation through acquisition or onboarding, if that makes sense for your business. It does at FedEx. Through to retention and optimization and growth and continuity, and perhaps if they leave you, you might want to bring them back at some point. That can happen too. But email is a very valuable and effective marketing tactic throughout all of these areas of the life cycle. Very, very effective. So just understand where your goals are first, and before you dive into email marketing. That's important. Get that figured out first. And then choose an email marketing solution. Now, by email marketing solution, what I'm talking about is these software as a service model providers, like a Vertical Response, or you might have heard of Constant Contact. That's kind of one of the smaller ones. There's lots and lots of companies out there, lots of different options. And what I say, choosing the right one, these are some of the key capabilities that you want to look for. And this might vary depending on your business model and your needs, but you at a minimum, you want contact list management, subscribe, unsubscribe management. That keeps you on the right side of the can-spam law. Design capabilities. I mean, the easier the tool makes it for you to design the emails, the better off you're going to be, the more time you're going to save, is including the ability to personalize those emails, make it more relevant, speaking to that audience of one, as well as some automation built in to do, you might have heard of this thing called drip campaigns, automated triggered emails based on certain behaviors, based on maybe certain pages that they view on your website, that sort of thing. As well as being able to segment your list. There again, making it more targeted, more relevant. And obviously, some mechanisms and tools that help you capture that subscription, whether it be on your website or whether it be maybe on your blog page or your Facebook page or whatever. And then reporting, analytics. I mean, you can't improve what you can't measure, so you have to be able to measure along the way, monitor your performance. these are some of the key features, functions, capabilities that you want to look for in an email marketing solution. And then building your list, there's lots of different sources that your list will come from. Not just digital, but traditional. Trade shows, blogs and social media, distributor shows, your advertising, direct mail. I mean, the key is just ask. Always ask for an email. If it's meeting a future colleague in the hallway and swapping business cards, make sure that your email address, obviously, or whatever email address you want to use for marketing, is on there. And it's all about funneling that into your email database, your list. I subscribe to an email newsletter. That's one of the many different email communication types that you might use to maintain that relationship. But it's just all the very basic. The minimum is a name and email address that you want to capture, but you can certainly capture a lot of other pieces of information to help you kind of better segment your list. And then it's all about designing ongoing programs and campaigns that are tailored to your segmentation, tailored to your customer life cycle and your marketing goals, to acquire and nurture and grow those customer relationships. Here is an example of a couple of different ways. You've got your outbound email campaigns. From sort of moving through the customer life cycle, that might include something like a welcome confirmation. You certainly always want to confirm when someone subscribes to your email list, and then you might go ahead, depending on their preferences, if you've given them the option to select the kinds of communications they might be interested in, different interest areas, that kind of thing, then that might involve a newsletter. It might involve some more targeted, tailored, specific communications. You might offer them downloads. Maybe you have written a white paper, or you might be recommending a book or some other piece of literature that they would find useful. Webinars, that's a great way to capture leads and convert leads. To conduct webinars, that's kind of a whole other set of marketing automation. But you definitely want to at least invite your list to attend some of these webinars, either that maybe you're sponsoring or that you're actually hosting yourself. And then, of course, as you move closer to the conversion, to the purchase, depending on what your business model is in your life cycle, you might want to consider offering trials or discounts there, again, depending on whatever your product or service is. So these are sort of the outbound campaigns that can be pretty fully automated to save you time. And then you have more behavior-driven inbound campaigns, such as referrals and follows and likes from the social sphere, or websites and blog contents that are referring traffic into your site and then ultimately into your email list. So lots of different ways, both digitally and traditionally, to feed your list and to help you to nurture your list and in those customer relationships. Remember, though, what we're talking about here is keeping customers, not just gaining new customers. And that's, at FedEx, we kind of call that engagement marketing, customer engagement. And remember that engagement equals retention equals profit. So you've probably seen some of the statistics on this. It's a whole lot less expensive to keep a customer than to get a customer, right? 6 to 7 times more expensive to gain a customer than to retain a customer, some of the sources say. And you can, by just reducing your defection rate by just a small amount, you can improve your profit by a much bigger amount, a factor of 4. And repeat customers typically spend more than new customers. And remember that 80-20 rule. This may not always hold true, but it seems to. That majority of your business, 80%, is usually going to be coming from a small chunk of your customer base. And you might call those your brand advocates. So those are the ones that are most highly engaged with you and your brand. They are liking and following you. They are reading your emails and interacting with your emails. They are clicking on the links. They are going to your website and checking you out. All these different interactions that you can monitor and measure using your analytics. You want to keep a good eye on those brand advocates because those are your most profitable customers. And you always want to know, just general marketing strategy. You always want to know who your most profitable customers are and really keep them happy. And also a great way to do that is to use email to gather customer insights, surveys, and focus groups or usability sessions to test new prototypes of software or whatever the case may be. Brand advocates are always happy to give you feedback because they like you, they want to help you. So automate your emails as much as you can, and there's lots of these email marketing solutions that will help you do this. You want to set up as many of these trigger campaigns as you can, as long as they make sense. I mean, you can tie these to life events like birthdays. You can certainly tie these to the front end of your life cycle when a customer first becomes a customer. You want to welcome them and thank them for either becoming a customer or at least initiating some relationship with you. And then ongoing communications based on their preferences and interests. And then certainly always thank them if they make a purchase or even just any generic interaction like a download or something like that. And these automatic trigger programs, they work. I mean, they really do work and save you a lot of time. These are some of the key metrics that you'll want to pay attention to. But I mean, conversion rate, that's an important one. That's what I call a contribution metric because it helps measure your contribution to business value, your business goals. Certainly, you want to look at opens and clicks, but conversion rate, that's the real path to ROI, to actual revenue, right? And so conversion rates and ROI on these automated trigger emails typically are a lot higher, certainly higher than your typical broadcast mass mailing type emails. So they're referred to as clickstream. They're basically in the moment type of emails. So they're automatically triggered based on some behavior interaction. And these marketing solutions, software solutions can help you set all that up, save you time. And don't forget mobile. So by your show of hands, as you saw, more and more people are using their mobile devices, largely smartphones, to read email. So you want to make sure that your email marketing solution makes your emails mobile friendly so that they're nice and readable and formatted well on the smaller screen, including tablets. But as you can see here, by 2014, there'll be more people using their mobile device than PCs and desktops. That's happening. So just keep that in mind too. And then, as you get started, periodically monitor how it's going. Monitor your performance. The good news is that most of these leading email marketing solutions provide a nice analytics set, a nice, easy to use, very visual reporting capability. But the key things are open rate. You want to look at open rate to kind of see how your subject lines are doing. If you've got good subject lines, you'll get good open rates. If your subject lines aren't working, then your open rate's going to fall. So if your open rates start to kind of fall or dip down, or maybe under the industry benchmark for your industry, take a look at your subject lines and rethink those. Maybe do some A/B testing on your subject lines. And the better marketing solutions will help you do these A/B tests, these comparative tests. You can test different combinations of subject lines and content to different lists. You always want to do sort of an experiment approach where you have control list where there's nothing changing, and then you have your variable list where the change is happening. So you can monitor what works and what didn't, and you can kind of make tweaks independently. But so open rate, click rate, certainly unsubscribe rate. You want to make sure that you're not oversaturating. You're not emailing people too much. People get a lot of emails, so you have to be cognizant of that. Just make sure that your subscribe rate is not spiking, or your unsubscribe rate. And then look at your contribution metrics. Your conversion rate and your ROI. The better integrated your email solution is with maybe your accounting software or your CRM software, if you happen to use that. the easier it's going to be for you to measure the revenue and the costs associated with this. So, try kind of be thinking on the front end. Back to your goals. How important is it to you to monitor this, and how important is it to you to create that integration? But most of these software as a service solutions are pretty good about helping you do that. As I mentioned, do some experimentation. You're not going to get it right the first time, and that's fine. But it's with these software solutions, they make it easy to experiment and to try different things. It's not to say that you've got a ton of time in your hands that you can spend hours and hours on this, but you do want to spend a little bit of time to tweak and to make sure that you're delivering, like I said, the right message to the right audience at the right time. And you can, as I said, you can do these A/B tests to figure out what works and what doesn't. And then it may work for a while, and you may not have to test it again for a while, or you may have to revisit it. So, just to kind of keep up with the trends, as you jump full-fledged into email marketing, if you want to just keep yourself informed and up to date on what the latest trends are, these are some good sources. Recommend taking a look at the Direct Marketing Association. They have the emailexperience.org, Email Experience Council website as a good source. And Marketing Sherpa is a great just overall fundamentals 101 marketing and digital marketing website. If you're B2B, take a look at B2B Online. That's a good media source. DM News is not affiliated with Direct Marketing Association, but all about direct marketing in general. And then eMarketer is always a good source for the latest research trends on just all things interactive marketing. And that is it. Thank you so much.